Picture a search box. A recruiter types a few words into it, a job title, a skill, a city, and hits enter. In half a second, a database of 100 million people collapses down to a short list of maybe 8. Those 8 get the message. Those 8 get the interview. And here's the part that should make you sit up. You can be perfect for that job, more qualified than all 8, and never show up in that box. Not because you're not good enough, because you were never in the search. There's a version of LinkedIn you have never seen, and recruiters are inside it right now, looking for someone exactly like you. Today, I'm taking you behind the glass. Hi, I'm Robin, a personal career coach built by the team at Longbow. I spend my days decoding how hiring actually works, so you don't have to guess. Let's get into it. Almost everything you've been told about job hunting is about getting chosen. A sharper resume, a better cover letter, nailing the interview. But all of that only matters after someone decides to look at you. And there are 2 completely different doors into a company. Door 1 is the one you know. You find a posting, you apply, you join a pile. Door 2, you never see. A recruiter goes looking, searches a database, and pulls out a short list. Here's what the data actually says about those 2 doors. A company called Ashby studied almost 250,000 real hires. About half came through the front door, applications. But roughly 1 in 3 came from someone being referred or found. And here's the kicker. That front door pile holds around 9 out of every 10 applicants. So it's the biggest crowd standing in the longest line. The people who got found came from a much smaller room. Same job, wildly different odds. Most people pour everything into door 1 and don't even know door 2 exists. So let's go open it. The tool behind door 2, most of the time, is a product called LinkedIn Recruiter. And it is not the LinkedIn you log into. It's a separate, expensive dashboard built for exactly one job: searching people like inventory. A recruiter doesn't scroll a feed. They build a query. Watch how they think. They don't type, "Find me a great marketer." They type something like title, marketing manager, or growth manager, and skill, SEO, and location, Austin. Every one of those is a filter, joined by 3 little words: and, or, not. Must have this, can have that, must not have the other. They hit enter, and 100,000 profiles become 40. They add 1 more filter, and 40 becomes 12. They read the 12. That's the whole game. You were never rejected. You were filtered out before a single human looked, by a word you did or didn't have on your profile. Which brings us to the most important thing to understand about that search box. It is completely, ruthlessly literal. The search does not understand what you mean. It matches what you wrote. If your headline says growth ninja or marketing wizard, you feel clever, and you are invisible, because no recruiter on earth searches for the word ninja. They search marketing manager. If you wrote that you drove demand generation, but the recruiter searched digital marketing, you don't come up. If your company called your role member experience associate, but the whole market calls it customer success, the search glides right past you. This is the single most expensive mistake I see people make. They describe their job in their company's private language and then wonder why the outside world can't find them. The database isn't smart. It's a giant word matcher. So your job is brutally simple. Use the exact words the market is actually searching for. And there are 3 places those words matter most. Place 1, your job titles. Not just your headline, the real title on each role in your experience. Recruiters filter by title first because it's the fastest way to find people who've already done the thing. If the market's word for your job isn't in there, add it, right next to your real one. Place 2, and almost nobody uses this on purpose, your skills section. To you, it looks like a list of buzzwords. To LinkedIn Recruiter, it is a literal filter. Must-have skill, Python. Leave it empty or lazy and you fall out of half the searches you'd otherwise win. Fill it with the specific, real tools and terms from the jobs you actually want. Place 3, your location. And whether you've said you're open to remote or open to relocate. That is one of the very first filters a recruiter sets. If yours is blank or wrong, you get cut in the first 2 seconds before your brilliance ever gets a vote. Get those 3 right, and you go from invisible to findable. But there's one more setting, and it's the one everybody argues about. You've seen the green open to work ring around people's profile photos, and you've probably heard the take, never use it, it makes you look desperate. Let's be honest about this one, because the truth is split. That looks desperate line, it's real. Some recruiters and hiring managers genuinely feel that way. But it's an opinion, not data. Here's the data. LinkedIn's own numbers say profiles that switch on open to work get about twice as many messages from recruiters. Twice. So how do you get the upside without the risk? This is the part most people miss. Open to work has 2 settings. One is the public green banner everyone can see. That's the one people fight about. The other is private, share with recruiters only. No banner, no badge, nothing a person browsing your profile can see. It just quietly flags you inside LinkedIn Recruiter, in the exact filter recruiters use to decide who's worth one of their limited messages. That private setting is pure upside. Turn it on today. The public banner? That's a judgment call for your field. But do not let a myth about the banner stop you from flipping the private switch. So here's how you get on the other side of the glass. 5 moves, and not one of them takes talent, just an afternoon. 1. Put the market's job title in your headline and on your past roles, right next to your real one. 2. Fill your skills section with the exact tools and terms from 3 jobs you'd actually take. 3. Set your location and turn on open to remote or relocate if it's even slightly true. 4. Flip the private open to recruiters switch. And 5. Get your most important keywords into the very top of your profile, your headline and that first line, because recruiters skim, and they skim from the top down. That's it. You just made yourself searchable for the roles you actually want. And you don't have to take my word for any of this. Go and test it. Open LinkedIn, go up to the search bar, and pretend you are the recruiter hiring for your dream job. Type the title, add a skill, add your city. Look at who comes up and ask yourself honestly, would I have found me? If the answer is no, you now know exactly why and exactly what to change. That 5-minute test will teach you more than 100 applications ever will. Now, the genuinely tricky part is knowing which words to use, because it changes for every role and every company. The title one company searches, the next one doesn't. The skills that matter for this job aren't the ones that matter for that one. And guessing is exactly how good people stay invisible. So that's the part I built Longbow to take off your plate. Paste the job you actually want into Longbow at longbow.careers, and I'll pull out the real titles, the exact skills, and the language that job is quietly searching for. The words to mirror on your profile and your resume so the search finds you instead of skipping you. It's free. Stop waiting to be chosen from the pile. Get found from the search. I'm Robin. Go get on the short list.